I, 19M, have two siblings, my sister Diana, and my brother Carlos, and I am the youngest of us. Diana has a boyfriend, who I'll call Mike, 26M. When I was 14, I came out of the closet, and my immediate family, my parents and siblings, were all supportive. My extended family, including uncles, aunts, cousins, and grandparents, were less accepting, so I don't tend to be as out and open around them. I graduated high school and started college 2 years ago when I was 17. I go to the same college where my sister is doing grad school, and to save costs, I've been staying with her and her then fiancé at their apartment. Mike had always been really nice, and I was happy that my sister was with a nice guy. My siblings and I have always been super close, and that closeness didn't go away when I started living with Diana, so I would often end up hanging out with them and their friends. The semester just ended for the two of us, and we all went home this weekend to stay with my parents. We had a big family dinner, during which Mike kept making little jokes about me liking older guys, since my boyfriend is 23, and how he would try to keep me away from him and his buddies. My siblings and I questioned him about these jokes until he finally stopped making them. That was last night. This morning, my siblings and parents went on a hike, which is a family activity we usually enjoy thanks to living close to the woods. I slept in, and no one wanted to bother me, so they went without me. I figured that everyone had gone, but while I was eating my cereal in the living room and watching TV, Mike came out of the kitchen and sat next to me. I was surprised to see him, as I figured he would have gone on the hike, but I guess not. He started by apologizing for making fun of me, and said that it was just a nervous tic of his when he didn't want to talk about something serious. He admitted it was wrong of him to joke about my supposed crush on him. I was super confused and asked for clarification, and he said he knew about the crush I have on him, which I don't. I asked him why he would think that, and he cited a few things that he took as signs of me liking him. 1. That I would always hang out with him and Diana. 2. That I chose to live with them instead of in the dorms. 3. That he barely knew my boyfriend. And 4. That I didn't bring my boyfriend to their wedding. I tried to tell him he was insane and that none of that meant I liked him, and they all had real explanations, but he just insisted I was trying to cover up the fact that I was in love with him. That was a few hours ago. I haven't told anyone in my family this yet, and I didn't have lunch with my family since I've had plans to be out with high school friends all day. One friend suggested I post this here, so I guess that's why I'm doing this. Thanks for reading. Update 1. Hello everyone, I had no idea this would take off the way it did. I have a bit of a small update. I spent the night at my friend's house last night. This was planned before any of this. This morning, I woke up and saw all of your comments and speculations. I took some time to reflect on the two main possibilities that y'all seem to have come up with. Either 1, he's one of those straight guys who thinks that all rainbow guys are attracted to him, or 2, he likes me and is projecting it, or trying to make it sound like my idea. After thinking about it a lot, I believe it is more likely to be the second option. I am a person who really loves physical displays of affection, like hugs and cuddles and stuff. My siblings and I are super close, as I mentioned, so I was used to showing my affection this way. Looking back, I realized that Mike was more than willing to show affection this way, as my sister is the same. Mike and Diana had been dating since high school, but I only really got to know him in the last 2 years at college. He was always open to physical affection with me, right off the bat. There have been many comments that he has made that I took as harmless at the time, but now with the context, I realize they may have been clues. He would almost always ask me how he looked before he went out for the day and would, in turn, compliment me back. I took things he said as jokes, like when he told me that my legs looked good in an outfit, or when he would tell me that I looked just like my sister, who is gorgeous. I always took this as him being nice, but now I'm not sure if that was his only intention. Anyway, to the actual update. This morning, I called for a sibling meeting at a diner we like to go to. Sibling meetings are something we've been doing since we were kids, where we talk about things like convincing our parents to get us a pet or splitting the household chores. We met at the diner for brunch, and my brother immediately commented on how weird it was that Mike was making jokes about me. Diana said that he was still making jokes to her privately after dinner and that it wasn't the first time he had made those types of jokes. She said that she figured he was one of those guys who thought rainbow guys liked him, but then I told them about his apology yesterday morning and all the comments and other jokes he's made. We all thought it was pretty weird. I showed them my post, and they briefly read through the comments as well. My sister said she would talk to him about it and assured me that no matter what happened, she would never hold anything against me or blame me for anything, which was reassuring. We had food, and I went back to my friend's house, and my sister said she would let me know if anything happened. I also texted my boyfriend about all this. He's British, so we have a bit of a time difference. He hasn't responded yet, but I want to make sure to keep him in the loop as well. I'm currently with my friends, watching them play a video game and pretending to know what's going on. I'll keep you all posted. Update 2. Hello everyone, I would first like to say thanks for your support in the comments of my last post and in your private messages to me. After the last mini update 13 months ago, I logged off of Reddit, and a lot of things have happened, so I honestly kind of forgot that I even had this account. Coincidentally, I was on TikTok a while ago when I found one of those AI voice accounts that read Reddit stories over someone playing Minecraft parkour. Earlier today, a video with part of my Reddit post came across my For You page, and the comments were full of people asking if there were any updates. It has been over a year, and I am so sorry for keeping you all in the dark. I saw that my last post was archived and nobody could comment on it, so I figured I should make a new post. So, the last time I updated you all was in May of last year. My siblings and I were all on summer break from college and were home for the summer. The day after I talked to my siblings at the diner, I returned home from my friend's house, and everything seemed normal. My sister informed me that she had talked to her boyfriend, that he had seemed more receptive to her concerns, and he was a lot calmer towards me. He stayed with us until the end of that week, during which no further incidents occurred between us, before he left to visit his own family. A little after his departure, I noticed that I couldn't find my favorite pair of undies after doing a load of laundry. At the time, I just chalked it up to being lost in the wash or maybe mixed up with someone else's clothes. They were a pair of pink briefs, which I find to be more comfortable for my body type than other similar fabrics and, unfortunately for me, considered more attractive. I'm sure you can all understand what actually happened to them. My sister only stayed with us for 2 weeks, as her job only allowed her so much time to work remotely. From what I knew, her boyfriend had returned to our apartment around the same time as her. I stayed home for the whole month before I, too, had to return to the city where our college is because I had gotten a summer internship there. So, I was back to staying with my sister and her boyfriend. A few weeks into that, my sister was out for the night at her friend's bachelorette party, and her boyfriend was out at a bar with his friends, which left me alone in the apartment for the night. I had a movie night and went to bed early. I awoke in the middle of the night to my sister's boyfriend in my bed, touching me. When he noticed I was awake, he held me down and raped me. The whole time he was doing it, he was threatening my and my sister's lives, saying that if I told her, or anyone, he would unalive both of us. My sister ended up staying the night at her friend's place, and her boyfriend raped me 2 more times before she came home. I was pretty broken by that point, and his threats against our lives were ringing in my ears all the time. This cycle continued, where my sister's boyfriend would act withdrawn from me when around others, especially my sister, then rape me whenever he could, threatening both of our lives if I ever spoke up. It's such a difficult thing to describe. The rational part of your brain tells you that it is just a manipulation tactic, that he was lying, and that I needed to speak up. But the irrational part of my brain was so scared. I don't know if that makes sense to you all. Maybe those of you who have been through a similar situation might understand it. I also began to change. My usually happy and bubbly personality shifted to a more withdrawn, moody, almost depressed one. I started wearing less revealing clothes, especially at home. Think of it like going from tank tops to t-shirts. About 3 months later, in September, when I was back in school and done with the summer internship, my sister was doing laundry one day and decided to surprise me by doing mine too, because she is a sweetheart like that. She also decided to wash my sheets for me, and that's when she saw that there were bloodstains on my sheets. This immediately raised concerns with her. That day, when I came home from campus, I found my sister on the couch with the sheet next to her. She tentatively asked me if I had been self-harming, as she herself had been through that struggle. She has scars on her thighs from doing it. She told me that my recent change in mood and the fact that I had changed my wardrobe to be more covered up, especially my legs, had her worried. I told her I was not, but I could offer no explanation as to why the sheets were stained with blood. It was then that I broke down and had a huge panic attack. My sister tried to calm me down at first, but when that didn't help and I was still struggling, she decided to take me to the ER. The attack lasted for about 45 minutes, only subsiding when they gave me some sort of medication to help me calm down. Once I calmed down, I was allowed to stay in the hospital room for a bit, and when it was eventually just me and my sister, I confessed everything to her. She was extremely comforting and asked me when the last time he had raped me was. It was the night before, so she pressed the call button for the doctor/nurse and told them that I would need a grape kit. For those of you who want the specifics of that process, please Google it. After that, I just wanted to go home. My sister took me, left me in her car at first, then came out to ensure that her boyfriend was not there yet. She texted him and told him not to come home, saying that the two of us were really sick and didn't want to infect him. The next day, instead of going to our classes, she took me to our local police station to file a police report. This whole process was also long and laborious, and honestly, my memory surrounding it all is kind of hazy. However, with the evidence found from the grape kit and my testimony, he received a sentence of 4 years and a fine, and he has to register on the Intimate Offender Registry. I am doing much better now. My schooling was only slightly affected, but nothing too bad, and I'm on summer break again. My sister and I are still close, we are both in therapy, and I'm getting through things day by day. I am currently writing this from home, and I'm flying out to London next week to see my boyfriend. I will try not to forget this page again, haha. Op talking about the arrest. He was at a friend's place while we were at our apartment, and my sister was still maintaining that we were sick. We told the police which friend he was likely to be staying with, and he was taken from there. Since I got the grape kit, they were able to get DNA from that, plus we submitted the sheets as evidence, and there was some DNA on them too. The police took his DNA to compare to the DNA found, and that was what nailed him as guilty. He maintained his innocence until his sentence was delivered. He threatened me when they were taking him out. His family was a bit of a problem at first. His parents initially had the "my son would never" attitude. They attended all the court sessions, and as more of our evidence, DNA from the grape kit and the sheets, pictures of the bruises he left on me and of the sheets themselves, was shown, and after my testimony, they admonished him. They sent my sister a message apologizing for his actions and offering their sympathies. He has a sister from what I know, but I haven't seen her. She might be estranged or have little contact based on what my sister has told me.